Today I'm returning to something that has kind of gotten the better of me in the past, and that is augmented reality. There was a moment in time, guys, I was there, I remember this so vividly. Pokemon Go was like the #1 app on the App Store, and augmented reality was the way of the future. I think there was Google glasses at the time. Now everyone's wearing those Meta glasses, and I'm scared. Yeah, augmented reality was a thing. Like, it was a thing that was happening way back in the 2010s, and then it had a sharp drop off. So we need a AR renaissance. We need to bring back AR. However, there is one thing that has not left us, and that is the filter. That is the only mainstream kind of widely applied use of augmented reality right now. I feel like there's so much potential for like posters and apps and things like that, but they're just not really mainstream and really widely used the way that filters are and the way that Pokemon Go was like back in the day. I have attempted augmented reality in the past. I did Vapes Around Town, which was an AR app concept. And in that you scanned nicotine warnings on vape boxes, and you like collected a vape and you were encouraged to throw the box out. And I was well on the way to making it like semi-functional, but then I was using Adobe Aero at the time and it kept crashing like over and over again. So it just wouldn't work. But I had like this little moment, this like glimmer of hope. And then I had to just do it as a concept. So that was my sad reality of Vapes Around Town. But I am back and I decided to make a filter. And honestly, this was not as difficult as I was expecting it to be. It turned out pretty well. So this is my process of making my AR fashion jewelry filter. So lately I've been interested in face jewelry and all of these amazing like applications of face jewelry, iterations of it. And one of the things that a lot of these have in common is this kind of cyber sigil like shape to it, and the way that they look. They have these really cool like organic shapes, and this reminded me of antlers. I am from rural Saskatchewan. Wah wah. I'm from rural Saskatchewan, and I love the concept of like combining aspects of life in rural Saskatchewan with fashion and like higher fashion, and bringing those things together. So I wanted to make face jewelry out of elk antlers. My dad like hunts elk, so we had some antlers lying around. Don't come for me, guys, I'm vegan. Okay, like don't cancel me. We just had some antlers lying around, so I decided to 3D scan those and turn those into face jewelry. So the first thing that I did was I 3D scanned the physical antlers, because this was going to be way easier than modeling them myself. And I have something to say that really is like really sad, and it makes me like really emotional. But I used Polycam for years. Forever I was using Polycam, like you guys can see it in my videos, and I would always use the free scanning ability, and Polycam would give you free scans for different things that you did. So if you uploaded something to the gallery, or if somebody downloaded one of your models, you would get a ton of free scans for them doing that. And I had a lot of free scans like in my bank, like in my account bank. I had like 40 or 50 free scans. I get the update and they all disappear. I go to scan these antlers. I literally make the 3D scan and it says upgrade to premium to process and access your scan. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, I said no. I said I'm not doing that, and I had to use a different app. So I use Curie Engine to do this. Now we're gonna jump into Blender so you can see my 3D scan. It took a lot of the room as well. I was just in like my mom's workshop, so I just took this model and I got rid of all of the excess and everything that was surrounding it. So I just had the antlers, of course. And then once I cleaned it up a bit, I remeshed it so that I could smooth it out. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have remeshed it. I probably should have just worked with what I had, because I did end up having a lot of faces and I had to try and decimate it later, but whatever, you do it the way you want to do it. But yeah, I just was smoothing it out and trying to get rid of kind of the roughness of it while keeping some of that texture, because antlers do have a natural texture, of course. And also trying to enhance some of the parts of it, like the end, so that it did have an antler look and feel. And then once that was done, I had this head model just in my computer from a different project I was doing. So just any head model, just because I wanted to test out the angles and the size here in Blender, because I'm a lot more comfortable in Blender than in the software I used for the AR. So I just took my antlers and I was messing around with how I would like it to look and how I could place it on the face. So at first I was interested in this kind of under eye coming across the face, because the good thing about this, I'm doing like virtual jewelry, it's digital, it's not real, is you don't have to deal with the confines of gravity or piercing or what it would be like to actually put jewelry on your face. So in a lot of examples that you see of people wearing face jewelry, it would be glued on, or it would be things that are connected to their lip, or like piercings in their nose and things like that. However, in this case, you can do anything and you don't need to worry about that, the weight distribution of any of those things. So that is part of why I wanted to do this virtually in this case and just do whatever with the shapes of the objects. So I was playing around with like how I would do those different things. And antlers have this kind of natural curve to them. Elk antlers are a bit more straight, but deer antlers have a very strong facial curve. So since these are elk antlers, they just have a very subtle curve that kind of follows the cheekbone really well, which I thought was cool. I played around with these different positionings, and then I ended up using the mirror modifier, and I ended up with this kind of obviously mirrored shape of the two antlers. And I thought that these were kind of good glasses in a way, sitting on the eye, and they have this way of kind of obstructing the eye a little bit, which I like. So it's like semi-obstructed and definitely creating a new shape for where eye sits. So I liked this, and this was the first piece that I decided to go further with. So what I did was I hid the head model after this, and I exported this as an object file, and I just exported one of them because both of them had too many faces or vertices for the AR software to handle. So I'm using Effect House, which is TikTok's filter software. And honestly, I thought this was gonna be really confusing because I tried using Spark AR like back in the past and I just got like confused, but they discontinued Spark AR. Again, like we are losing the art. We are losing the craft of the augmented reality. People have given up. Give it up. But yeah, so this is Effect House, and what you do is you import your assets like under the assets tag, and then you drag them up to the hierarchy, and you need to add in a head collider, and the head collider is the thing that will stick the objects to the face and make them like reactive basically. And I just mirrored the two pieces and stuck it in the eyes like where I wanted it to be. So then I added in one of their materials that they have in the app. They have quite a few, and I just used an aluminum to give it that shine and have it, you know, be like a silvery piece of jewelry. And yeah, I just previewed it in the software, and you can see I'm like looking around on myself, and you can test it on the models as well and just see where it fits and where it aligns. So yeah, it's really not that hard. I went in again and I did the other piece of jewelry really quickly. So just dragging that into the scene and positioning it under the eyes the way that I wanted it, scaling it and doing all of that, and it was like relatively easy. And then you can just test it in TikTok using like the TikTok camera. So it's all like really integrated and it's really quick. But now I'll show you guys me modeling the actual jewelry, and this was just a really quick, like easy project. So hope you enjoyed watching, and like and subscribe.